QSO Today Episode Special and without a number. I'm Eric Guth, 4Z1UG, your host, where I interview exceptional ham radio operators who are movers, shakers, and makers. This is a line that I thought I heard on the Ham Radio Workbench podcast last week. This is the second solo episode that I've done in over 440 episodes since I started the podcast back in July of 2014. I've made every effort to hit my weekly target of great interviews about my favorite hobby, amateur radio. This week, however, I am low on content because my head has been down on producing the QSO Today Virtual Ham Expo that later's open today online. I started the expo when the world was going into COVID-19 and every ham radio event was closing down. This week's expo is the sixth that I'll produce, and while the number of participants has decreased, the quality of everything just keeps getting better. When you hear the quote, rinse and repeat, over and over again, you start to get it right. So that's what I've been doing with the expo. I've rinse and repeat. I do it over and over again, and now that we're coming up on number 6, I think I'm starting to get it right. Unfortunately, while I've served as a marketing vice president of a relatively large high-tech startup, I tend to use my gut, which is probably not a good idea, my gut instinct for my own projects. This may mean that I don't create a product with wide appeal, but it does scratch my own itch. I started this podcast when I saw the medium and technology as something that I could pull off. As a fan of talk radio since the time I was a kid, and talk in general, creating an interview podcast appealed to me. My choice of guests, the most active in ham radio, also had great appeal. For me, and I hope for you, this formula has worked to create entertaining and informative content around our amazing hobby. So I have some insights from this that I'd like to share with you that you might have heard in snippets on earlier interviews. Amateur radio operators reflect the regular demographic of the rest of the population. I used to think that this wasn't so, but I'm pretty sure at this point that this is the case. We have our elite class, not by privilege, but by their hard work and dedication to the hobby. They want to be the best at DXing, contesting, home brewing, or helping others through ARES and public service. We also have the rest of the hams where the hobby satisfies some other itch, but does not play a major role in their life. No problems. The most successful hams make time every day for their hobby, and this seems to reflect the work ethic that making time each day for anything builds expertise and success. Amateur radio may be unique because it allows the acquisition of skills outside of the radio and electronics to pull a project together. This may be 3D printing or metalworking or cabinetry, software coding, and computer programming. To produce a weekly podcast for hams, this operator has had to master copywriting, website development, audio editing using Audacity, working with syndicators to publish the work, copywriting, social media marketing, working with foreign programmers to create integrations between all the services to reduce the actual work. For me, the expo, now 6 times, has vastly expanded my skill sets, especially since the numbers of attendees is going down as the pandemic fades into a bad memory. To this end, I start automating all the repetitive tasks or tasks that I have had to outsource for others to do. The biggest challenge is managing lots and lots of speakers, presentations, hosts, moderators, scheduling them, putting their videos up on the platforms, and handling their collateral material. I can now build the Expo website, update the email list database while eliminating expensive duplicates, all from accepting application apps using an Airtable form and its automation. It's pretty amazing. So here we are at the 6th Expo, and I have time only this week to share with you what is happening with me and the QSO today before the Expo. And as I said at the beginning, I think that the Expo attracts the best in ham radio together twice a year to make a group learning experience. It's more general than Tapper and Hamsci, but not as general as Dayton and Hamcation. I think it has a unique place in the world because of its virtual location that's accessible from any place in the world. I think that the Expo has the best presentations to allow you to get up close and personal with a speaker. Our technology has evolved so that we can now pull off a smooth presentation with live Q&A and render a complete video for almost immediate playback automatically when the host leaves the backstage and turns off the light. vFairs has been an amazing partner for this purpose. They have listened to almost every one of my suggestions and roadmap requests since we started down this road together in August of 2020, at the height of the pandemic. My vFairs team, led by Mr. Vish in India, and his cadre from Dubai, Pakistan, France, Toronto, and the United States, always work hard to make our event more successful each time we do it, and I hope that you'll come so that you can see that that's the case. Anyway, if you're still listening, I hope that you'll register for the expo this weekend. The ticket price is $15. I hope that you will enjoy the presentations, that you'll visit me and your old friends and your new friends in the Roundtable Lounge. My thanks to ARRL, Flex Radio, Bigali, PrepCom, BioNO and ARDC, who continue to support through their sponsorships the expo. Please stop by my roundtable in the lounge this weekend. To get your ticket, go to QSOTodayHamExpo.com for more information. See you at the Expo 73.